Recording in progress. I hear you loud and clear. Hey, it's Ted Cantu from The Win and also hotmetrofinds.com. And we're back with a vengeance. Hot Metro Finds my son. Little Sex Pistol joke there for you, for all you punk rock fans. I am Ted Cantu, ex-art director from Chicago and New York City, coast to coast. And I got some great news here for you. We're just going to roll out the hits. Today is Wednesday, May 1st. Also the feast day of St. Joseph, for those who believe. And he is the patron saint of workers. All right. Welcome to the show. Got some cool stuff happening today. All right, I'm just going to roll right into it. We got some new things popping up here. Hotmetrofinds.com was a concept that came up with quite a few years ago. And it's an entertainment business directory. What's happening in your town kind of a site. But it's really firing on all cylinders right now. And the really cool thing about it is I've got no financial backers. And that's worked out to my advantage because now I'm able to do whatever I want. And I don't have to get called into the HR office anymore because there is none. And all the back office jealousy games that we used to play are gone, thank goodness, with some people that I won't mention here. And I can just do whatever I want. That means taking over the search engines, taking over Google, anytime I want, for myself and for those I represent on the web. With that, I will say this, we are getting on the web now within 5 days. That's been our record. And that's page 1 results. And we're getting those fairly quickly. And I gotta say that when I logged into some recent back offices for some web platforms, I was surprised to see this message that said, in layman's terms, you can make changes to this site. However, you may not see them appear on Google page 1 or at all, in most cases, and anytime less than 12 weeks, which is like 3 months. And that's not true. So some of those sites we can fix them for the most part. The ones that I do, I got full creative control to do whatever I want to with them. And that includes custom scripting and taking some really great shortcuts. The results are dramatic. I'm popping up on Google pretty much wherever I want, whenever I want. Between 5 days to a week or less. Videos can actually go live in 4 hours. It used to be 15 minutes on page 1. But for the most part, if you really want to get a good placement, give it about 4 hours. And it'll pop up wherever you want to. So that's a really, really cool thing. I do have a lot to say as usual, and I don't want to lose my train of thought. But this whole placement thing is really encouraging. So I'm going to be showing you some pictures of some stuff I've done for the real estate industry. And right now we are popping up multiple times for my client site and for my own personal site, the news site, hotmetrofinds.com, which has a whole new look, by the way. And it's full artistic, full on artistic presence. Robin Hitchcock is working with us, which is great. He's on tour. You can catch him over in Chicago on May 3rd and 4th. And he's got this new album concept called Shuffle Mania. I've heard nothing but great things about it. Sean Lennon's on it, which is really cool. He's got some really great guest stars on this album project, and he wrote the songs during COVID. So he's back to his creative self. Classic Hitchcock, very cool. The alternative surrealist. I call him a surrealist pop star. One of my favorites, going back to Ann Arbor days. So that's cool. Um, but back to this search engine thing. I got to tell you, was really interesting. Uh, there's a Dan Kennedy book out there called "Selling to the Luxury Market." Okay, two takeaways in there for me was really interesting. Stamford, Connecticut, where I used to work as an art director. I used to work there as a freelance graphic designer slash web slash art director for the WWE. For those who might remember, I was doing that. Wrestlers, big people, strange market, but I also did some stuff for an ad agency who did print. So I made a little statement saying that is print dead? I came across one of my old bosses from an ad agency, and he's posing with a camera like he just invented fire. He just invented print advertising. Ooh, print advertising. Whoa. Like he just discovered fire. Okay, so no disrespect, but we have a lot of antiquated thoughts on the direction of sales, marketing, websites, and marketing communication. And I find it hilarious. I made a post about it on Twitter. So strike one, right? Strike two, and just follow me for a minute. There's a lot of search engine companies based in Michigan that are no longer in Michigan anymore. But yet they say they're all about Metro Detroit. They're all about the Detroit spirit. They're all about this Detroit comeback thing. And the problem is these places are no longer in Detroit. Where'd they go? They went down south, a lot of them. I mean, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, Florida. Why? And you're still saying you're from Detroit? It says it right on their website. We are proudly located downtown Detroit. And it's not true. I am in Metro Detroit. I'm actually in Walled Lake. I had a studio in Detroit over on Mack Street, not Novi, not West Bloomfield, calling myself Detroit. It was actually on Mack Street. You want to hear a story? I was in there. I had a studio very briefly. I didn't want to stay there because I value my life. Okay. We used to have these big glass bricks in the windows, like prison. And my office, that was the light source for my office. I was in the back of a dentistry. And I was advised to clear my office out at 5 every day, or else all hell would break loose. Local thugs used to pound on our door trying to get in to mug us because that's what they do. And the thing was, I was advised for health and safety reasons to not answer the door. I said, "What do I do when they start pounding on my door?" And I was told to stand in the corner in the back of my own office, the one that I was paying for, and told to just pray that they'd go away. I stayed there for about maybe 2 weeks. My girlfriend, who at the time, who was like pro Detroit, who encouraged this whole circus to unfold, never bothered to stop by once. I survived. I did it. I'm the real deal. I'm not doing that again, by the way. But I am saying that I am here. I've got the real stories. I've got the proof. I've actually got the real deal. I actually did it. Took all the arrows in the back. But through it all, I am here to help. We are working coast to coast now. So that's my whole little story about SEO in Detroit. So I've been doing that a long time, actually. And I gotta tell you, the reason why I told you about the advertising story with the guy with the camera, it's funny because a lot of agencies didn't make the transition from old school to new school. Or worse, at the time of doing it, of making that critical, crucial decision, they decided not to do it because either they were too arrogant or they didn't have the vision or the focus. So I want to thank you for firing me. Because I reinvented the game and I survived it, and I've seen life on both sides. And I've seen web entrepreneur companies from Chicago completely scrap their web department because they couldn't keep up with the new changes. What I'm saying to you is that what I'm doing now is pretty much the new school, firing on all cylinders. And wow, the results are right here. Let me just stop talking for a second and just roll the results. Fair enough? All right, so we got over here. Divorce real estate specialist in Birmingham. You'll see that I'm popping up hotmetrofinds.com right there. I'm also, my clients popping up. We have affiliates with EXP and Keller Williams and Remax. And we're popping up side by side. Pretty cool. You'll also notice that some of the web videos are popping up right here. And anything in that top 10 space is fair game. Because as of right now, we're not buying ads. That's about to change to an extent. I will be doing some ads just to get some more full coverage. But these SEO examples are pretty powerful. We're doing this for Royal Oak, Michigan. We are popping up in Birmingham, Michigan. And we will be popping up in Utica, West Bloomfield, and Troy. And these things are coming in through different combinations. Pretty cool. Now, I want to say that some of us get pretty defensive when we talk about our sales copy. We'll say things like, oh, we hired copywriters. They took care of our sales copy. Okay. I'm listening. I'm buying into it. But then when I go into your sites, a lot of times I'll see that the sales copy is nothing more than sales copy or verbiage that came with your template website. How do I know? Because the same mistakes are repeated on multiple pages. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. If you hire a real sales copywriter guy, you're going to have real original content. Trust me. It's kind of hard to fake it. And I've had people tell me this over and over again that they hired they hired copywriters. I live in this area. I know a lot of the top people here. And let me tell you something. You can tell when something's been written or if something is coming up from a template that has no, moxie behind it. I'm talking about sales copy because right now, Google has just changed its algorithm again. And they're looking for original content. Really original content. Not AI stuff. I'm not a big AI fan because what I've seen so far is it's material written for bots just to appease the bots, trying to get rank count, link count, has no heart. You ever see a Taboola ad or some of these articles that come in? They're all spammy. articles that don't get to the point, you'll know what I'm talking about. YouTube has this too, where a lot of their information videos on health and healing just go on and on and on, and they never get to the point. And obviously, it's been written with AI, voice generators, and they never get to the point. There's no heart. They don't drive to the sale. Sales copy will do that if it's written correctly. And I suggest hiring someone to get that done for you. The beauty of it is that when we start to get results like these on Google, you're going to see some gaps and you're going to see opportunities to offer more information. A lot of companies don't take that chance. They'll rank a few keyword terms, but that'll be about it. That's the extent of their SEO. Ranking a site from the inside is fine. On-page tactics, I get it. You want to get in the top 10. But what are the traffic drivers on the outside of that top 10? What's pulling in people and eyeballs from other sources to come and check out your site? And I'm talking about communicating to audiences that are already out there. Podcasts, forums, just a couple ideas. And usually, from what I've seen, there's not a whole lot of content out there that's driving in eyeballs and people. So you buy an ad. And the ad's poorly written because it's based on sales copy that doesn't convert in the first place. You go through a lot of money very quick. And you're kind of spinning your wheels. My suggestion is to basically attack SEO as brilliantly as you can, and then look for the gaps. And then success leaves clues, but so does failure. And then you get to a position where I call sharpshooting the web, where you can look at the top 10, see where you're landing on, and see what's needed to fill in the gaps. Think answering questions. A little free lesson today. I'm just telling you. All right. So what are we looking at as far as the changes on the algorithm for Google? Pirate was one. Hummingbird was another. But right now, Google is looking for heartfelt content that's written. Let me tell you about different copywriters too. Everyone talks about Dan Kennedy. He's good. He's highly paid. I like Orange Beetle, Ellen Forrest Smith. I think he's very very bombastic and to the point, and I like him. And then there was this other guy named I forgot his name. He writes for engineers, if you can imagine. He's the engineering sales copy writer. And I don't like his stuff because it's very dry, like white toast. It's just boring and bland and not exciting to read. And David Bly, I think. It's been a while since I read it because I'm not into his style. What I'm saying though is that there's different styles of sales copy and copywriters out there. Your job is to find one that connects with you and connects with your idea of your ideal audience, whatever that might be. Now you're talking about something. And then also, of course, using the actual keyword phrases that people are highly searching for to find your goods and services. Very, very important. And then you can have, that's in my notes, you can have results like this. Woohoo! Right here. We're getting more of these. And we're going to be going to, like I said, really just going full out with our abilities and just really going all out with this style of SEO, which I don't see a whole lot of. But we are going to do that right now. And I think I might have mentioned on the other episodes, we're going to be teaching this to companies and other SEO companies too. Imagine that. I never used to do that because I had a lot of people copying what I was trying to do. And I used to go to business breakfast groups and business lunch groups meetings, and I would meet people who were trying to do my act, but they were doing it very, very poorly. You got to remember back in those times, I was actually getting like things like 8 out of 10, sometimes 7 out of 10, top 10 results. One time I did it for a company, and I think it was, I don't remember the client, but I was on there like 10 pages straight. You can believe it. I was getting 10 out of 10 for 10 straight pages, which is unheard of. And it might have been for a roofing company that I was working with. This has been quite a while ago. Now, obviously, Google has tightened up its requirements, but still, I mean, if you're getting like 4 out of 10, we're doing that now. That's still pretty impressive. And this is what I'm doing. Just keep in mind, there are some things that have changed quite a bit on the web. Google Plus is no more, obviously. I don't even think WordPress is even that effective anymore. It was a big go-to for the longest time. And now it's just not it's not pulling any traction on the web. And like we always say, only 18% of all websites get ranked on Google. Only 18%. So you got to know what you're doing. Yahoo and Bing will take things, post it, but they'll post like the most random stuff. Their algorithm is really weird. Like they might post my hours for my SEO company, but not my results. They may pull up a picture of me and my girlfriend from like 3 generations ago from some fundraiser thing we went to in 2009 and say it's a recent result. It's weird. Yahoo and Bing, I don't understand it. I was on this call a couple of days ago talking about the ad space on Bing, and they said it was a waste of time. These are inaccurate results, and you don't want to base your business on that. You want to go for the real straightforward success model that really, really works. And to do that, why, you got to give us a call, 248-277-6141. And you can always find me at hotmetrofinds.com right here. This is the new look right here that we're going for. And tedcantu.com actually ties into this site now. So there's going to be some really cool videos on there, some case studies, and you can see some of the really amazing things that we're doing. And by things, I mean results that we're getting into, especially this real estate thing. I'm so excited about that because that's not always easy to do. We might just do a whole show about real estate marketing in general because there's a lot I'm not really telling you on this video. And it's highly competitive. It's a highly competitive space. What I tell all businesses that I consult with is that you really need to have a story to tell. That helps the best. That's the best thing you can do is have a story to illustrate in your business. One of the worst scenarios I got myself into was a manufacturer for toilet parts. That was extremely hard to sell this thing online. And I don't want to sweat blood when I work for an SEO company, or a client. I want you to come with a story that we can sell. If you don't have a story, we're going to have to create one to help you get some real eyeballs. Otherwise, you're just going to be treading water with Well, I just put it this way, you'll be a drop in the ocean. You want to stand out and be unique. Telling a story is a huge, huge thing. It's a huge asset. Let me tell you, I just watched this video with Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, and he said basically what I'm saying to you right now is that when you market yourself online, you have to have a story to tell. You have to have a story. And he also said that he spent a lot of money on content creators. He has no problem doing that because he says they create more traction, they create more eyeballs for him and his brand. Prior to all the social media change, was he used to hire engineers one after another, and he said he doesn't do that anymore. So to hear him say that is really interesting, and you could always find that clip on TikTok, and he'll explain himself. All right, that's all I have for right now. And for more information, you can always find me at howmuchoffinds.com. And we're going to have some more results here coming in. We do have open enrollment for new businesses. But like I said, you got to have a story to tell. I don't really do pictures and prices anymore. I used to. I just don't because pictures and prices is it's a terrible way to promote a business. The last one I took on like that was for a jewelry store. There's pictures of rings and prices, pictures of rings and prices. We're going up against tappers and everybody else, all the big guys. And it's hard to do that because it's it's just such a bland approach towards getting your message out to your core audience. Now, if you were going to do a jewelry store, not that I'm going to do one because I'm kind of done with it, I would probably focus on planning the perfect wedding, maybe planning the perfect engagement, stories about romance, even. There could be a blog component towards telling these types of stories. How many will do that, though? They're going to say, who's going to read it? That sounds like crap. People love crap. Let me tell you, they do. I was over at Kroger's at the magazine section looking for inspiration because I look at magazines for layouts and pictures and stuff. And just to, I have many different interests. And they have a book section there right next to the magazine rack. And you'll never guess what this is. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, like, wow, what do people read? What do people really, really read? Like, you know, I get judged all the time. But hold that thought and let's look about what the public reads. What does the public like? And in that book section, there was titles of, it was all nonfiction. I'm sorry, it was all fiction books. And there are titles called Betrayed and The Other Woman and Who Laughs Last. It was a murder mystery. And uh, The Two Dead Guys and all this stuff. And then Maximum Penalty. And I was like, this is junk. And they're 300-page books. And it was one right after another, after another, after another. And then there's all this romance stuff. So I go to yard sales occasionally with family, my mother, my girlfriend, that kind of thing. And I got to tell you, there's boxes and boxes of this stuff, man, that I would never read. Like romance stuff. And there's always Louis L'Amour, that's his name, books about cowboys and just stuff that you can't grow from. But this is what people fill up their time with. They fill up their time. Like video games are a time waster. Sure. On your phone, apps, games, social media, junk, anything to keep you on the treadmill. But people fill themselves up with junk all the time. So putting a scenario together for a jewelry store that talks about romance or some section of it on their site where they can tie it in together to buy an inspired purchase is not so far-fetched. Content, context, sales. I think there's a shortage of copywriters personally. Or worse, you don't see the value of it. If you don't speak about your business, other people will. We can do a whole show on that. But anyway, we're going to keep it short for now. And you get my contact information right there if you need anything. We are rolling this stuff out. We are training companies how to do this and how to get some real presence. We're going to pull no punches, and I'm going to talk to you straight, not in technical terms, but actually in layman's terms, so you can comprehend the concepts and put them into action and make things really, really happen. With that, that's the show for right now. I want to thank you for watching. Keep following us for updates and watch for us on Google because we are popping up in a lot of really great places. All right. Any questions at all, you can always email me at tedcantu@gmail.com or info@hotmetrofinds.com. I want to thank you for watching today, and I'll see you online.